So I'm going to go in with Lynne. She didn't know about this, as we always do. We have an on-the-spot round with all of our guests, where we go for a quick-fire series of questions. Lynne's actually dealing with having, you're struggling with a bad cough, but you're just exuding this beautiful energy to all of us. So thank you so much for sharing that. So I'm going to put her on the spot. We're not going to be too harsh to her because we don't want her to not be able to keep up, but I'm sure she'll do absolutely brilliant. If you're ready for the on the spot round, press the share button if you want more people to see it. So we've got a series of questions that we put together that we're going to ask you, and we're going to ask you to answer it as quickly and as sharply as possible. I'll let you have some water before you have it. And go away, and we'll see what the audience thinks straight after. So my favorite way to unwind is?
Meditate.
Meditating where?
I have a meditation room,
Beautiful. Do you recommend that, slightly going off beast here, do you recommend a space or do you actually think wherever it works?
You know, I hate to put these preconceived notions on it because then people don't tend to do it. So I love to have a specific space, and I have an altar, and I have, you know, it's like Pavlov's dog, right? I go into that space and I have an automatic relaxed feeling. So yes, I do recommend it if you can do that. But for many of us, you know, it's a challenge, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That makes great sense. The best advice you've ever received?
To not take myself so seriously.
Nice. The worst advice you've ever received?
To do better, to try harder.
The best advice you've ever given?
It's not that important. None of it is,
Wonderful. And the worst advice you've ever given?
There's so many.
You're so humble. I love that. Thank you.
I can't even.
It's so funny. It's so funny because you've just said, there's so many. And it's so funny because sometimes I ask people that question. They'll be like, well, I can't think of any bad advice I've ever given. But thank you for opening up. It's awesome. The advice you'd give to your 20-year-old self?
I actually, I have a 20-year-old son, which is, I thought, what you were going to say.
Okay.
To follow your dream and not to be so concerned about the shoulds. To allow yourself to really do what fills your heart and makes you feel happy.
And what are the shoulds, do you think, that stop most people from feeling that way?
I have to make a lot of money. I have to be the most successful person. I have to. There's so much pressure that we put on ourselves to find the right mate, to do all the right things. And none of that actually matters. Because at the end of the day, you find your path the way you're meant to find your path, and all of those experiences make you who you are. So there's no right way to do anything. It doesn't matter.
There are no norms.
Right.
Yeah, norms are just made up by a space, society, community.
Exactly.
And we start accepting them as being what we should guide our lives by. But they limit us. Wonderful. Not very quick fire, guys. I'm sorry about this. We're getting involved in the conversation here. So, blank is the key to happiness. What word would you put at the beginning of that sentence?
Connection, love. Love and connection.
Wonderful. What do you most want to learn? Or what do you most wish you could learn right now, if you could learn something?
I'm actually in school again right now. So, I mean, I find that learning is just an ongoing process. And the more I learn, the more I realize how little I know. So,
what are you learning? What are you going back to school for?
That's awesome. I'm doing Numi Dynamics.
Okay, tell us more.
Which is it's about soul, helping people discover their soul, and allowing them to really get in touch with what their soul's desires actually are.
Wow, where are they teaching this?
It's an amazing. This woman is truly incredible. Her name is Judy Ann McNamara.
Okay.
She's wonderful, and she's my teacher.
Oh, unbelievable. That sounds really interesting.
It's wonderful.
Wow. And it connects with what you said at the beginning. You said you had that moment where you started to ask, who am I? You know, where am I? What am I doing? And it's kind of like we struggle to find that education. We struggle to find the answer to those questions most of the time, but you are finding it, and you found it.
Well, so what's also wonderful is learning how to help people really get in touch with that.
Unbelievable. What's the one thing that you can't live without?
Water.
Love it. So true. I read the other day the longest someone had been without food was like 11 days.
Right, but never water.
Yeah, never water.